Ho, ho, ho. Precious Channel. It is I, your friend Jerford K. Holkins. This, of course, is your brewmaster for Acquisitions Intoxicated. Eric J. Benson, also known as Azerbaijan, the notorious EJB, and Edge Benson. But there is another organism. Thank you, Zendradix. There is another mysterious organism here in this hallowed realm. And that is Bruce R. Cordell. So honestly, like, it would take a long time to say everything that he's made, and I don't want to diminish it at all. But you should just look online, do a search for Bruce R. Cordell, and then be startled and amazed, because there is a very, very good chance, especially if you've been role playing for a while, that you own one or more of his books. I would say that most recently, the one that we have gotten the most use out of, I got a little bit of use out of the Ethereal Plane.
Oh,
for Planescape.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a while ago.
Because I'm trying to bring it back.
All right, I think I wrote that in 1998.
Yeah, exactly. But we also got a bunch of use out of the Underdark.
Okay, that's more recent.
Yeah. And so we had a chance, like, we had a really, really good time taking some of the ideas from there. But that's, a significant period of time before the current timeline. So we had to jump in there and modify some of the things and, like, basically simulate an additional 200 years of progression. So it was a really, really good base to work from. It was an absolute pleasure.
Oh, thank you.
But yes, we're talking about an author both of novels and game systems. An absolute pleasure to have him on. Now, you may be familiar with the ancient ritual of Acquisitions Intoxicated, but we have subverted it in the way that dark sects occasionally do. Obviously, we're going to put our grains in here. Mm-hmm. We're going to do the full first part of the process. Dump Stout.
The Dump Stout.
Dump Stout is coming out
Good Lord.
today. You're going to see some incredible colors in here from the grains. But after that, we actually have a pail that Eric made at home. And so we're going to do something like the reverse of the regular process, where we're going to do a tasting with our friend Bruce included, and we're going to try to go backwards. We'll give you all the information that you need to know, and then we'll try to figure out what this beer is about, who it's for, what it might be named, that type of stuff. And then, of course, we'll engage our minds in creating the next beer. So, again, very first step, let's go through these ingredients. And I didn't even know this. I mean, I wanted to have you on because you're Bruce Cordell, but I didn't know that you were actually a brewer already. I suspect it's pretty common. Did you get into brewing? Was it like an SCA thing?
No, it was I was in college in Colorado.
And you wanted to get drunk?
Well, pretty much. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I wanted to know why beer was so good. So, I was a scientist at the time, and so figured doing a little home brewing would teach me a lot about it, and it certainly did.
Yeah, that's more or less my story as well. Essentially, I was like, this is something that, over the course of a week, I'll probably have it. Thanks, CG. Over the course of a week, I'll probably have it, 5 times. And it's like, I should actually know more. It's actually irresponsible.
That you don't know what's going into this?
How did it get brewed? Right. What does brewing mean?
What is going on here? Yeah. But then the other side of it is that's more or less the same way I got into coffee roasting as well, which is comparatively easy. Coffee roasting and brewing, there's no comparison in terms of the toil.
None.
You have to be able to sit patiently for about 20 minutes, and if you can accomplish that, then you can have world-class coffee. But so why don't you tell us about these products in here? This is a full bag.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say about this. This was our braggot that we made for Drebus.
Oh my God.
Pat Rothfuss.
What the hell is happening in here?
Multi-classed.
Okay, so are you familiar with
beast.
the braggot?
No.
Okay, this is weird shit. Okay, so in our C-Team campaign for Acquisitions Incorporated, one of the characters has a son played by Pat Rothfuss named Drebus. And so every time Drebus comes on the show, he is multi-classed into a new class. So it's like the perpetual dilettante, right? So a braggot is basically a mead that you make in a beer.
Okay.
Yep.
And so we this indecision at every threshold. So break this shit down for him, because first of all, dude, I don't know where to start with this fucking bag.
So So
I don't know if that does smell good, but it's really cool.
Essentially, what we wanted to
Get a
do
whiff of this, Brian.
was, I mean, the main base malt is our standard 2-row. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Right?
neat,
Yeah.
it's a neat bill, right?
Yeah. We went with flake barley and flake rye
That's
with
it.
a little bit of victory malt in there. And we're going to add just a touch of smoked malt.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Oh,
And then afterwards, to up the ABV and the taste, you will add honey to this as well.
Okay.
exactly. That's where the mead comes in, right? What, dude? This is a heaping helping
Right?
in this fucking step filter, man.
So you told me you were going to tell me exactly what this
Oh, don't worry.
magic device
We're gonna
is.
okay. Don't worry. We will tantalize you with the magic device. But first, I want you to smell these and probably even have a couple because.
All right.
So last weekend.
Yeah.
Weekend before. Weekend before. Here. That is so good. Okay, so
Right?
we did
Mind if I have one?
Yeah, go
we
for
did a
it.
C-team barbecue, and then instead of we made smoked grains from this Washington State 2-row, and so then once we had but we used
It's
apple.
smoked.
We used apple instead of beech or one of the harder smokes, just to
That's
give it
so cool.
just to give it a mild, like a milder smoke, so that it wasn't the only thing you tasted out of it, because that's what happens in that style, generally speaking. So we just put this right in the mix, right?
Yeah, go for
Because
it.
we're madmen.
It's crazy.
All right, this is going to create an incredible vortex
I mean, I agree.
scenario. Yeah. I mean, you keep and obviously the way of the vortex. You know, we will incorporate you fully. Now, what's the Magnum?
So the Magnum hops is going to be, you're going to use a quarter of that bag. Because they're so high
quarter
in
of an
alpha.
ounce.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're 11.8.
Yep. So you don't need too much. We were only looking for about 20 IBUs on this.
Yeah.
So you don't need really too much to.
Give a pair of
to
scissors.
achieve that level.
I don't want to chew it, but I will.
I mean, you've chewed other things. You've chewed
Oh, no,
comics.
yeah.
You've chewed.
Oh. No. Like that's funky.
Yeah.
Like this is that funky stuff.
Dank. Good.
What's spice?
Yeah.
Like
well,
that's
what this
that's
is.
the earth spice.
Magnum is spicy and fruity. Those are the two real
Oh,
characteristics
man.
you get from it.
but it's the earth.
Oh, I love the
things
smell of
for
hops.
Right? right?
Isn't
Yeah,
it magic?
love it.
But that's a big gun. It's like when it's like when you get that tet.
So good.
It's
Yep.
like when you get into that tet where the actual spice. Like again, there's some poetry to this sometimes, but this is like, oh no, that's
Yeah. Hey, I'm here. What are you gonna do about it?
yeah. Skunks are involved at some
At some
Art.
level, they just kind of creep
some
in.
part of the manufacturer.
We're good.
Right, 'cause they used to think that grain produced mice.
No. Well,
No,
yeah,
you
they're
know about
credit.
this, right?
Yeah, generative theory.
Yeah, they're like they open up the thing with all the grains and they're like, there's all these fucking mice in
How do
here.
they just form?
Yeah, exactly. They're like, God damn it! It's grains produce mice somehow, and it's the same thing. Like skunks and
Yeah, they produce hops.
skunks and
Yeah.
Magnum. Oh my
Hops
god!
produce skunks. Yeah.
But it's like savory.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the difference.
It's a savory skunk,
Right?
I mean, I say that all the time when in the backyard.
Well, yeah. I mean, we all
That's
have
one
that.
hell of a
It's like,
savory skunk right there.
in my
Do you grow hops or something?
I do.
Jerry has hops on his fence.
On my fence.
Yeah. They grow like crazy. I used to have some in my old house.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're bonkers. Like they will
They'll take over everything.
They will grow as hard. They will grow as hard as you let them, right? All right. So this is the first stage. So you had homebrewed for a while, and then you were going up to Gallagher's, which is where I learned how to brew also. But basically, this device, this step filter, holds all the grains out here. There's what they call a fluid arm in the roof of the device inside that can direct water to any of these ports. So when it's time to do this addition, we program all of that on the back end, right? And so basically it's like, you have your 60-minute additions or you have your bittering hop.
So
or
you're
you might
not
have something-
popping it open.
Yeah,
and
you might have something to
pouring it
flame
in.
out. No, it's each of these cages. Things to stop. Now,
Hey, check this out on the side. Just the difference in color from the smoked grain and the other grains.
oh yeah, I was just
That's
gonna say. Well,
really
here I can show that off to the camera too. Like the grains here in the top Those are the smoked ones,
That's wild.
right? But it's a great smell, and honestly, like I think it's a great taste. I think that we hit the right amount
Listen, I'm not
on
saying
those.
we're good, but
right?
we're
No,
good,
but
we're good.
listen, we know a thing or two about a thing or two. So let's.
Hey, listen, you had success last week in this endeavor that you are about to go on.
Okay, so this is something else you don't know, Bruce R. Cordell.
This is the
So-
quest to end all quests.
So we
The
can put
adventure
this.
of all adventures.
There's a spigot there in the
Really,
back
it's just putting this
that
box
sort of
in
powers
another
the
box.
whole process. That's what does the drawing of the water out of this. And then if you see this corny keg down here, that is a lot of the brewing is taking place. That's basically like an exterior tank.
Okay.
And so the water is constantly cycling through the grains and doing the sugar extraction, right?
Interesting.
Um,
Wow.
But it requires that go into this, and sometimes it doesn't succeed.
99%
Sometimes,
of times.
sometimes it's not something to be proud of. The act, it doesn't work 100%.
Oh, okay.
But I know that because I'm here, obviously inspired by the works of Bruce Cordell.
Right. And that is going to aid you
Oh, there's no question.
on this
No, in fact,
trial you are about to...
this is one of the heaviest step filters I've ever even tried to put in here, dude. This braggot,
ridiculous.
this braggot is nuts. All right.
Josh,
So,
you got this?
I'm not even gonna. Oh, god damn it! No, so he started doing this fucking cinema verite shit. No, don't follow me around.
Hey, Wi-Fi.
Thanks. Yeah, Wi-Fi.
Yeah, Wi-Fi, pan and
Don't
zoom.
support this. You.
I mean, you got one shot. Oh, it's gonna... Really jiggle?
No,
That
don't.
was your move? That was your move, was to jiggle it?
Had to loosen it up.
Okay, I get it.
May my labors please you. Now, so get a load of this, man. So now that this shit is rolling in here, right? Watch this. So we go in here. This device is Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi. Thanks, Hassan. Now it's Wi-Fi. So get a load of this. I'm gonna go into brewer recipe, and then it's gonna hit the interwebs. And then it's going to come back with a list. Thanks, Rapitch. Then it's going to come back in here. So this is the list.
Okay.
Oh, did you clear some of them out?
Also, oh, I see. So he's got a sort of a mini control panel here that you're accessing?
No. So he uses this device here. This machine can do everything itself.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't have to be manually controlled at all, but we do get a constant stream of data
Yeah, it's the
from
best.
the device, like all the temperature curves and everything. But
Okay.
this is the back end where you make the recipes, right?
No, I didn't. Try resyncing the list.
Oh no, Dump Stout's here.
Oh, it's right there, okay.
yeah.
It
I
must
mean,
be because we have so many.
it's a fucking long list.
Josh just pointed out we have 28 recipes, essentially, at this point.
God damn it! This brewery is happening.
Yeah, I know.
It is fucking happening.
I
All right,
want a role-playing brewery.
exactly. Dump Stout, preparing for brew. So I hit that. We've had to run it a couple times before. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, that's the functional basic
Lord,
process.
that's a lot of grains.
Dump Stout. I know, dude. Who knows what the vortex is going to look like with that base? So you will find out. You will learn this as well, Bruce R. Cordell. That anything that you do on the internet for a sufficient period of time begins to develop a religious connotation.
Yeah.
Like anytime you get a bunch of people together who are looking at the same thing, ultimately a religion will be formed.
Excellent.
And so once this water starts to hit this,
You're saying it's a religious experience.
Yeah,
well,
I mean-
not only is it a religious experience, but in addition, we're also talking about a scenario where it's almost like there's almost a divinatory aspect, because once the water starts to hit, the grains begin to dance and sway here inside the
like
device.
this.
Oh no, dude, listen, you came on the right show, okay? You came on the right show.
Thanks for the invitation. I appreciate
it's
it.
an absolute fucking pleasure. Now, let us pull off
Yeah, let's try this.
some of this new stuff here. Now, we have no idea what it is, but if you would please inform our guests. See, Sapperbait,
Gaze into the
gaze
vortex.
into the vortex. And so these vortices that you'll see with the grains are called the vortex. Now, there's going to be
Some
rogues,
rogues. Fiends.
animals that refer to it as a grainal fissure.
Bullshit.
No.
Okay, you're
no.
not
This
team-
is the- this
you're
is
not
That's
team
funny.
Grainal Fissure.
No.
You're on this team.
I am. Tell me, the Vortex team. Man. That's the Vortex, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. All right, so everybody had been asking me for a while. They had said, have you brewed anything for yourself? And I'm like, I haven't brewed a beer that hasn't been AC Inc. since we started the show.
Oh.
And so I just took one, sat home, and said, I want to brew something that's very simple, but that's going to have some great flavor to it. So I just decided on doing, a classic pale ale, and I really dig. Here, let's get some more CO2 on that.
Yeah.
I really dig just single hop beers.
Well, yeah, but also we had been over at a place in Ballard called the Noble Fur, where they were talking about what they called at that time smash brewing.
Give it a rip. Should be put a little more in there.
Oh yeah, yeah. But they were talking about smash brewing, right? Which is like single malt, single hop. And I think it's just a term. Yeah.
Yep. Give it another.
Yeah, you're gonna try.
Thank you.
You're gonna try. I don't care. All right, here.
So the hop that's in here is the Magnum that we used for Drebus's beer.
Right. It's tart.
And it's just spicy and fruity. And essentially what we did was it was a Magnum right up front, and then on the back of the boil as well is just adding more Magnum to this. So it's going to be very spicy with a little bit of fruit and tart.
It would be with that mix. Holy shit! Here. So should we give this a shot?
Yeah. Yep.
Man,
It is tart.
the Magnum is massive. And it's a little bit darker than I expected.
Yeah.
Too out of there.
It's roughly about a 12 to 14 on the SRM scale.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
And then so it was mostly 2-row, but then there's you had a touch of caramel.
Just a little bit of Crystal 60.
Oh, crystal. Yeah.
So the grain bill is not overly complex, and it's really just to have the Magnum come out front.
All right. Yeah. So
Do you have a name for it, or is it just...
No, we
not
got
yet.
to figure out a name for this
we
one.
have to figure out.
Gotcha.
This is another reason why it's nice to have a writer around.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, exactly. No, we're going to put your ass to work. That's what this is actually about. Exactly. So
I need to start figuring out
so
how to
range
characterize
far.
this.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? So get as much of that in there as you can. Put it into your craw. The craw is sort of the crucible, right? Process this stimuli, and then let's investigate it. So it is a pale, so it's not too hoppy.
No.
But the hop that you did add is a very hoppy hop.
Yeah, it's very bitter.
Right?
So it's really gonna balance out the beer.
So what are we gonna get at with this? So it's
So you feel like in order to balance out the beer, you made such a bitter hop that you're really kind of stretching.
Exactly.
So you're kind of like bounding maybe like 7 League Pale Ale or something like that. Boots, bringing in the RPG reference, something like that. That's contender 1.
this is pro tier. This is pro tier. I like 7 League Pale.
Well, he told the story. I just added the reference to it.
The embellishments, yeah.
No, I support it 100%. Oh, here, Cookie. So they want the stats. So what is the ABV on this bad boy?
The ABV is 5.5, so
Yeah,
it's
I was
right
just
in the middle.
Gonna say it's like right
Yeah,
smack dab in the middle of
I
the
wanted
process.
it to be sessionable, so this is one of those beers where you can just sit out on the patio during the summer and
Yeah.
just keep having it during your barbecue. Jeff?
Oh,
I heard you pour. I don't watch the stream.
there you are. No.
You can actually hear the ringing of the handle as it tilts all the way.
Let's
in your
take a look
room.
here.
You're that tuned.
Hey,
Look at that.
Jeff.
Getting better.
Jeff
Poured a lot of beer
Cows.
this weekend.
Jeff Cows, everybody.
All right. Continue your discussion on the stream.
Yes, exactly. So that's the scenario we've got here. Oh, a Welver beer would be very, very good. In fact, let's
Welver?
come back to Welver.
Oh, that'd be
Let's
fun.
come back to Welver because
Yeah.
it's going to be dark, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be a stout necessarily.
Yeah. Well, he was in the cart originally, right?
That which intoxicates.
That's
Oh
great.
yeah, see, and Niana is looking for that. They want that beer that is for the smoking dog.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Exactly. Womp womp womp. Now, I like that. 7 League Pale is good. Let's see if we can penetrate the inner sanctum. So I'll put one in, and then you should put one in.
I'm so good. I'm on both ways.
I got an electric shock. Is it good?
That's how
It's a little hot.
beer is. How imbued with power.
All right.
It's gonna be a little foamy because I'm
American coffee beer.
Yeah.
Oh, I like the thought of it being,
Head jet.
like, what if it's a Duragar beer, right? I mean, they were the golden dwarves on the
Oh yeah.
Underdark, right?
Definitely. I was just say this motherfucker. He can dish up this Underdark lore.
Right?
I'm sure you remember every word of this ancient book,
Very
right?
first TSR module I wrote featured Duragar. You know,
Oh, that's great.
Gates of Firestorm Peak. Back in the day.
Is that like? So we have things that we're always trying to push on people. Like, what are the things that you like have to? What are like your like DM fetishes that you like that you expose people to?
You know, one of the things I like to do. You mean like when I'm GMing and or writing an adventure?
Exactly. Like, what are the things that you're
like
like?
to-
Hey, listen, it isn't an adventure unless it incorporates these specific things.
It's not an adventure until the current party has found the previous parties that have tried to enter into this area in some horrible situation where they're, you know, this person is partly spread across the floor, this person's head is on a stick talking, we don't know why, but that kind of builds the trepidation. I feel like that's not an adventure until something along those lines has happened.
I have what I would describe as a thoroughly asinine version of that, where they arrive on the scene and the party that has died before them is actually their party. See?
Oh, that's a nice twist. I
Yeah,
like
exactly.
that.
And then it's just like, how many times?
What do we do to avoid doing
Yes,
this?
exactly.
late.
Exactly. It's already happened. You already lost. It's like, now what can you reclaim, like, from your own bodies? No, I like that. I like that a lot. So if we got our 7 League Pale, that's a good one for that leaping connotation. You're thinking about some kind of a Durgar scenario, something productive.
Yes, I like that.
Okay.
Do Dugar retain their ability to expand their size like they had in first edition or second edition? I don't know.
No,
I don't know if they've
I'm
actually
trying to
explored
remember.
that. Have they?
We looked at it, but I'm not sure if they still have that. I always thought that was a novel. That was a novel twist. D&D is obviously still weird, but it used to be it's still weird, but it used to be fucking weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, and brutal.
Oh, absolutely. Bonkersville stuff. Yeah, I mean, I think Planescape, I wonder if you could even do Planescape again. Like, obviously I would like it, but that's weird shit.
Well, we like to think that we've brought that tradition forward with Numenera.
Nice. Yeah,
No,
that's true.
Numenera is weird
The best,
AF.
yeah.
Yes,
as they say.
that's pretty much the weird of Numenera is what we call it, right? That's some sort of aesthetic of like, this weird situation is happening here. I have no way of actually understanding it. All I can probably do is try and survive it, and maybe gain some little function out of this weird alien device.
Absolutely.
That will benefit me. So.
Did you ever play the what they called the Numenera skill building card game, the one that Lone Trek did?
Yeah, I have played that actually.
What did you think
They're
of
still coming. Oh, it's great. We love it. I think it's just still coming out. Actually, I don't know if it's actually quite out
No,
yet.
I've only ever played prototypes of it.
Yeah, I think it's coming out like as we speak. Actually, I don't know. I think someone in the chat can probably tell you if that's true or not. I
No,
don't know.
but the ideas are massive. Like, for me, that's the main thing, is that if you're going to make a card version of Numenera, it has to be, like, the ideas that it grapples with have to be vast. And that is that the deck builder sort of stayed in some ways mechanically, but
Yeah.
this is not like that. This is just weird.
Cool.
Let's see. So I would say, so you're thinking about a Durgar thing.
Somebody put in the Degard, like Deurdegarde. I'm like, that's
Aelfell. Yeah. Yes.
Aelfell.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, and also he would like that because Will actually really loves a good pale.
Yeah.
Aelfell. You dorks.
What?
We're trying
really
to
like this beer.
We're working back here.
we're trying to run a
get you
goddamn
more.
I'm on my second.
No. The best part about it. So
I'm only
you
having one.
so she is hiding back there.
Cauldron.
But that is
the best.
But that is Beth, who is our controller, which is like an ultra accountant. It's like a Voltron accountant. It's like an accountant that's made out of like 5 lesser accountants.
Yeah.
But her coffee mug is a legit cauldron because she's a witch, and I'm not kidding. All right, here. So Alefell is in there. I'm gonna grab that one.
Steven! You're,
So what's our
Beth
drink
can't. You're saying Beth can't drink all the beer?
No, that's my job.
Steven's limiting us.
Steven's in there trying to.
SRM?
Yeah. No.
Grains of the Realm.
It's a good beer. It's
Oh, Grains of the Realm. That's cool.
That's nice.
Ooh, Grains of the Realm is good. Let's see. So what do you want to throw in for your option? I threw in Alefell 7 League.
Oh wait, yeah,
And then-
I don't know. I think I'm. Actually, Grains of the Realm is kind of neat.
Harvest
I think
one.
that's- Yeah.
Greens.
I love that
Greens.
cheer.
Grains. Would you say that?
Greens.
Get him. Put him in the boil.
All right, now you just boil, goddamn you. You just do your shit. I got drunk.
Does this mean we don't have a future?
Well, no. Yeah,
Vortex
exactly.
isn't
Yeah,
forming?
yeah,
No,
yeah.
exactly. Like it's like there's something wrong with us. We have done something.
Maybe reality itself is on the edge of
We
teetering
have done
out.
something to displease the device. No. Jeff is making me very angry right now.
There's an explosion definite out.
Can you,
Oh yeah. I know what you can.
Workman's comp, I don't
We're
think
not pulling
covers
you up.
accidents. All right, never mind.
Is it dead?
It's Goofa Dandy, yeah.
Son of a bee. Are we out?
All right, it could be. All right, hey, I think 7 League
Yeah.
Pale.
Was it out of CO2?
No.
I think 7 League Pale won out on this. So you're
I got in early.
you're
Jeff,
starting
you killed the
exactly.
beer already?
You established the field of battle, and you were able to derive some value from
Well,
it.
you told me to start getting ready, so I was like, okay.
Yeah, mega focus. Now,
Yeah.
so in our, so it's funny. Like one of the things that I think is super fun about DMing from an existing piece of content is so the almost the entirety of the C Team campaign takes place in the Red Larch area, right?
Okay.
So it's sort of like a central place in the Forgotten Realms.
Sure.
And it's a lot of these things are defined. I mean, you've written these types of supplements. They're defined, and we have a few characters out there. But how you interpret those characters has a lot to do with whether or not people react to them or respond to them. And then they want way more out of that character than the person who created that character ever intended them to do. Like this person is supposed to sell chickens, like that's their whole life.
There's a name, there's a chicken seller, and some stats,
Yeah,
maybe.
it's chicken.
Level
and-
2.
And it's like there is a surprisingly ridiculous amount of sophisticated information about poultry vending in Red Larch. Like there is a goofy amount of detail. I don't know if Chris Perkins was involved, right? I mean,
Chris Perkins, I don't know. I don't know that Chris Perkins
could
necessarily
be.
has a poultry affinity. I
continue.
don't.
yeah. This is pure devilry. All right, now, but basically, there's a character named Welver who is a real character.
Welver, that's why they were.
Yes,
okay.
yes. That's a real character in Red Larch. He owns like the cheaper of the 2 wagon outfits in Red Larch,
Okay.
which is on that long road. So it's like you have to have them.
Okay.
Right? And when they first started their party, there's no way they were going to be able to go to the good place. And so they ended up getting like the worst cart that they had with what we called barely a horse, right? But they loved that horse so much, and they loved this cart, and they've modified everything about it from game to game. Like that's a really big part of their relationship with the campaign.
Cool.
And Welver was where they got it, and it turned out that Welver's son basically runs the day-to-day operations. That's how we established it. And in our campaign, he was literally asleep in the back of this wagon
Jeff, there's
when
a
they left.
pint glass up front.
That's
right?
fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. And so, and then Welver, because this is the sort of campaign I run, then one of our characters ended up in this like midnight tryst with Welver.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Sounds romantic.
exactly. And so, but it was kind of fun because Welver was able to come along with them when they were very young, very low level characters.
Okay.
See, dude, very low level characters, but he was able to provide the skills that they needed to sort of get through those first few levels and accomplish tasks that they had. So they like Welver, but Welver is definitely a little bit spurned by the character in the party now, right? So exactly. So there's cool opportunities, I think, there.
Well, I mean, the pre-written stuff, does a lot of the legwork for you, right? I mean,
yes,
I
definitely.
And I write a lot of the pre-written stuff, so it's in my benefit to say that's the truth. But I agree, right? You take if you're running a game, you take the first foundation and then you build on it as a GM in the way that the characters seem to respond to, right?
Right. Absolutely.
You're the GM. I mean, you're there playing too. It's not your job to do anything. You're there to have fun as well. But it's it's fun to work with someone and become that character yourself and create a story. I agree.
Yeah. So
that sounds like a great one.
No, it worked out good. But so for us, once we've gone in and established that, like we have our narrative, like our story, our world state basically, and then what happens is that they interact with that world in a way that is richer than we could have conceived.
That's the truth.
Like when you have that group of players, and I know you know what I mean, where they add a lot of flavor and a lot of texture to the world. And so a lot of times, like what we try to do is write out 5 or 6 games, and then when we sit down before each show that we run on Wednesdays, it's like, okay, how did they change our story? Right? What did they do that has made our story better? And how can we make it seem like that was the plan the whole time?
Yeah, exactly. And it works pretty damn
totally.
well.
It has, absolutely.
I totally had this planned out, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they actually give us a lot to work with in return, which is a really, really nice feeling.
Thanks, Dan Armerding. Heat the fucking water. See, now I have to.
Now
get
you're getting mad at it.
Now,
you're like,
hey, so we're
strict
doing.
father with a switch.
It's true. I'm maybe get the switch.
You may have
the
to.
whipping switch.
Yeah.
Now, here's what we need. We need to think about styles.
Are we doing? Oh, what was the?
Welver.
No, who won the? What's the name of the beer?
Oh, the name of the beer is 7 League Pale.
Yeah, there we go.
That's a classic.
Okay, so Welver. Interesting.
Right?
What does
And
Welver?
so think about Welver. So are we talking about something that can be used? Are we talking about something that is ostensibly some kind of a lubricant? Right? Like, are we talking about something that has some other, like, is it some, like, is the axle grease, is it manufactured by something local? Like, is it a family recipe?
So Welver is for something new that you're going to make?
Oh, no, we're going to make this right now.
Oh, going to make a recipe right now.
You're going to be here for the whole thing.
Oh, okay, sorry.
It's going to be
Just catching
sweet.
up.
No. But I wanted to
All
make
right.
sure that you had all the basics.
Thank you, gotcha.
So that now, as we enter into the next phase,
The Welver.
the next.
exactly.
All right, gotcha.
So now you know what's up. Now you can be a true participant in the thing. So the first thing that we typically do, Bruce R. Cordell, is we try to figure out. We throw out 2 or 3 styles.
Okay.
And then we let them pick. So generally speaking, virtually every beer that we make on the show is, functionally speaking, crowdsourced in one way or another.
Okay.
Right?
Awesome.
And thanks, Nico. But the cool thing about it is that it's basically worked every time.
Yeah,
Now there have been challenging ones, like there was one with the spruce.
Right.
I think that if we had been able to use real spruce and not an extract,
Right.
that would have been an amazing beer.
But so 27 out of 28 recipes have been fantastic.
Flawless.
Yeah.
Like amazing, like win an award
Awesome.
level. And there's
I
something
don't doubt it.
No, there's something about this interplay that is navigating this pretty rough water. I mean, because you've done it yourself, like there's lots of ways to do it wrong. They don't know how, right? And so here we're thinking about Welver. So is it something that Welver drinks? Is it something that is part and parcel of the, is it something they make for the workers there, right? You are possessed. It's possessed. Is it something they make for the workers there? Are we going to make a joke about something that they use to keep the, like a cleaner that they use on the, like, right?
Right, no, this
Is it
is
some kind of
great.
like alcohol-based cleaner that he's also in the back because it's strongly
He's
suggested.
going to tell about his story, how they found him in the back of the
The wagon.
The wagon sleeping somehow.
Exactly.
the
So
story.
the only thing that I had in that first one was that he had with him a bottle of some midnight black liquor.
That's right.
Now, that doesn't have to be what we make tonight, because we've done a bunch of stouts recently. And I think that generally speaking, we sort of consider that to be like harder stuff than beer. But that's the sort of individual we're talking about here, right?
Cool.
An enthusiast of the hard stuff.
And the audience is gonna suggest something.
I have the coolest technique. It's gonna blow your mind. As soon as we're done here. Oh, Lestat is saying that it's mad and I'm not showing it any attention. All right. So I will, before we go ahead, before we activate
you're
it
gonna
again.
pre-sing?
Well, no. These days I have been pre-singing. Beep. These days I have been pre-singing. Is it gonna continue to beep?
Until you press continue.
Well, I don't want that. Here. So there's a ritual that we have on the show also, and it involves singing.
Okay.
And so we have to prepare the grains because obviously they're about to undergo a pretty significant lifestyle change. And so generally speaking, we want to offer aid and comfort to the grains ahead of time. But I need a song to sing to the grains, and I don't know what it is. Like, that's the problem, right? Pokemon theme? Like, I want to encourage these grains. Like, I want to elevate these grains. I want to lift them up. You know what I mean?
On golden wings.
To fly.
I mean,
I
somebody's...
mean,
Sunshine on
right
my
now the
shoulders.
grains are down here. I need to go up here. Sunshine of your
Sunshine on my shoulders, high like mountains,
Right.
golden grain.
Rocky Mountain High.
California.
You're dead.
Oh, Colorado. No, I was just saying, I knew that this is, even Josh isn't impressed. Mike is going to come over here and beat me up.
I know, right?
He's going to hurt me. He's going to hurt me.
John fucking Denver.
So what would he like? What would Mike like? Is that something we could inspire?
Could we? Yeah.
Let's see. Here, we'll figure it out.
Was he like 311? I don't know.
Here. The main thing is, let's figure out a style, and then while that vote is happening, then I'll deliver some
What do you think
much needed love.
about a Saison for Welver?
Saison?
This is, it's going to be...
It's a French style.
It's a French style.
It's a French farmhouse style.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And it was brewed, we've done a Saison before. Essentially what it was brewed for was region to region. This is a beer that would change flavor based on the ingredients you had in that region.
Right.
It was for the farm workers.
It was a style.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was based off of whatever you had at the farm. But what's really neat about it is it could be pale, or it can actually, you don't see it often, but you can have darker Saisons.
Oh, no, I have seen that.
Yeah.
Generally speaking...
I mean,
when
generally
see-
speaking, it's going to be a very pale color, but
Yeah.
there are dark Saisons.
But in fact, that's the only type I know about.
Oh, really?
I've never actually seen a bright one. I think that the Saisons that I've been exposed to have just been in that darker range. Thanks, Cookie Mom. Grain's the very best there ever was. Here, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
All right, so I think a Saison would be kind of neat for that character.
Would be novel. Now, you have experience in the brew context. Now that you know about this Welverian character,
Lore, yeah.
what do you think would be interesting, drawing on your experience as a creator?
Well, honestly, I was really interested in the concept of a beer that Welver would have experienced in the world, right?
Oh yeah, an artifact of some kind, right?
And Eric's suggestion that we go with the Saison.
You're in line with that?
Yeah,
It's kind of like
kinda lines up with
where
me.
do his wagons go, right?
Right. Although it also seems like since
What do
it's
they
a
come
style
back
that
with?
varies,
Yeah,
means like we
yeah.
can kind of
exactly. So
things
what do
around.
they come back with?
Oh,
Because these wagons-
interesting.
because he rents these wagons.
So what about like a fruit ale, like a fruit amber or something? We could do like a cherry amber or like a raspberry amber, any kind of.
Yeah. With something with a fruit addition. Let's see.
I mean, that could be done for later, but.
Mike wants Africa. By Toto.
Toto? The Toto?
instead of rain.
But this is the thing, Mike. I did Toto
It's
recently.
happened.
I don't know if
Yeah.
it'll make the grains angry.
Like
But I'll try. I'll try.
If you sing the
Homer's
grains
Reagan,
twice.
Wake me up before I go.
Here. All right, now, so we got two good options here. We have. I would love to do we have not used cherry flavors.
Oh, that's interesting. We haven't.
That's actually new. So the concept for the cherry amber will be that, let's say mechanically speaking, you rent these things and you go places, and then he may have something that he likes from each of these places. Oh, what? A subscription from CW Game?
What?
I'm a real boy. But it could be a thing. It's like, hey, I'll knock a few coppers off if you bring back something from this place that you're taking the wagon.
Yeah.
Oh, I like
right?
that. Yeah.
So it's like a duty basically that's assessed on the trips, right? Now it might be nice to have one more treat on there.
Yeah,
just
I'm
for
trying to
kicks.
think. What do you think about a Belgian pale ale? So this would be a pale
Okay,
ale
so
using
you-
Belgian yeast.
I was just gonna say, yeah. So the rest
New
of the
Belgian, I know
structure-
you're in the chat. What do you think of that?
Oh, of course they like it. That's their bread and butter.
Yeah.
So you're saying take a good strong pale.
Yep. It's going to be lightly biscuity, lightly toasty, with a little bit of fruit flavor.
But then
But-
the
and
yeast
that
is going to
Belgian
come in.
yeast,
The
which is
yeast is going to
delicious.
come in and crank all the flavors into that sweet realm. I think that's very interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Goof. All right, here. So this is our
Featherweight just
supply here.
subscribed.
Featherweight!
All right, here. So Mike wants it, so I'm going to give it to him, even if I've already done it before. All right, you ready? It's gonna take me a lot to get me away from you. There's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. I bless the rains out in Africa. Gonna take some time to do the things we never had. Ooh. All right, now that we have applied this,
Fantastic.
now that we have done this,
That will actually make it work.
well, listen. So here's what happened last time. I sang to it, and immediately as I got done, it beeped with rage. What? Yeah, I'm giving it. It's like all I've wanted this whole time
Was a cheer?
was your approval, Mike. That's all I wanted. It's what I've been working for every day. All right, now, dump stout. Now, so let's take a look back at this. So, Bruce R. Cordell, if you would take a look over here, right over the stream, you can see the real-time voting methodology.
Fantastic.
Right? So right now, they are curious about this cherry amber, and I'm the same way.
Yeah, I think it's neat.
It's something we haven't really done. I mean, amber for us, amber is a pretty ship of the line. That's a pretty common classic style.
Yeah, it's great. It's fun, and it's very accessible.
But there's room.
There's room to grow. There's room to
Exactly.
implement different flavors.
That's the key. So that's quite healthy. Cherry amber is definitely it.
Cool.
All right, now that we know that, so when we're trying to put together an amber on the back end, we haven't actually done that much in terms of a classic amber style.
No.
What does the style mean? I mean, I think of it as sort of like a relatively mild ale.
Yeah, you're looking at a mild ale. There is a definite color aspect to it. You're looking at anywhere between 10 to 17 on the SRM scale.
Okay,
And we'll bring
right in
that
the
up in
middle,
a second.
right in the middle.
You're not getting overly hoppy with this beer.
Well, you wouldn't. I mean, it's just like, no, that isn't to say that we couldn't do it, but if you have an amber and it gets hoppier, now we have a pale ale. I mean, this is basically how it works, right?
Yeah.
Like once we reach too far beyond that spectrum, and we're fine fucking with that, but
You want the malt to be present in this beer. Because especially as we add cherry to it, if we do add cherry.
thanks as well. It really is about amber. I think compared to a pale is really about how it sits on the tongue, right? So it's going to have this broad tract in the middle that is just that malt presence.
Yeah, you're going to get a lot of caramel flavor off of this as well.
Yep. All right.
But tropical fruits, stone fruits are all going to be present.
Oh no! I'm sorry. I get very excited when you start talking about I'm such a goddamn nerd. Like,
You want to do El Dorado, don't
yes,
you?
of course I want the El Dorado. Because if you're talking about stone fruits, if we're talking about emphasizing fruit,
Yeah,
especially
absolutely.
in terms of an addition of some kind, and And the fact of the matter is, for this one, like, let's not extract. Like, let's do like we did with the grains.
Yeah.
Let's actually get Washington cherries.
Yeah.
And make our
I think that's
addition.
a rad idea.
We can make our addition right on the stove. It'll be sterile because it's going to be hot as hell.
Absolutely.
Right? That's the way I think we should do that.
Right. It's very much like the Rausch beer, where we're smoking our own grains.
It's what we should seek to do whenever we have the opportunity, and especially like so. I mean, this is what you identified early on after you'd come up here, is that we have everything you need to make really, really great beer. Like this state.
Yeah.
Well, if you have sterile environment, right?
Yeah.
That's step one, and you have just you put it together in the right way. It's almost hard. I mean, you can screw with things enough to make something come out really terrible, as I've learned.
Oh yeah.
But if you kind of stick in the middle of the lane, you can be pretty safe and come up with fantastic crafted beer.
Yeah.
The fact that you guys are actually kind of going farther out and still coming out with craft beer is really
bizarre.
Awesome.
It's bizarre, but I think that the secret, right, is that between Washington water, the massive fields in the middle of the state, the hop fields south of Seattle, cherries, apples.
Yeah.
Like a lot of I'm just saying that like
it's all local.
You can actually do the whole thing from here, from within a couple hours, easy. So yes, I think this cherry amber is going to be bonkersville, but I think that we have to challenge ourselves to do better than the extract. We have to go whole hog and do it right. So what's first, SRM?
Yes, so let's talk about what our ABV is going to be on this beer. So typically we're looking between any amber,
yeah.
You're not looking to be bonkers off of the scale and make it like a 10% beer. This is going to be very sessionable. You're going to be able to have a couple of these.
It starts at 4, right?
You're looking at about 4.5 to about 6.5.
Okay.
Is the average range.
That's been our classic range here. I'll be curious to see what they say. And so you might be delighted by this also, Bruce R. Cordell. So every time we put up any of these questions, they go up in the same format.
I see.
And so you'll have an opportunity to see just how curatorial this cadre is with these stats. It is easy to get bewitched
just watching
by the percentages.
Yeah, exactly.
And just keep shifting.
Yeah, New Belgium actually mentioned a really good thing about Washington water being essentially awesome.
It's something else.
Water plays a huge deal in brewing.
Yes.
Not so much on the home brewing scale because it's just here we are trying to brew a beer, get it done. But in actuality, the water when you're going to mass produce a beer, or even at the homebrew scale, it makes a difference.
Well, yeah. The fact of the matter is, you can brew straight out of the tap here.
Yeah.
And it's delicious.
Right.
Like that's the truth.
But when we talk about beers from a different region, a different style, a lot of it has to do with the water and the minerals that are inside of the water.
Oh, it's a pride of place type thing.
Yeah. So when you want to get really in depth with your home brewing, you can actually play with the minerals and add more.
Yeah,
or
that's
less
like
to.
that's like the Defense Against the Dark Arts tier.
Which you guys have not quite.
I haven't
entered
gotten
yet.
there yet. We have not experimented with with minerals yet. I know they do a lot of that over at Old Stove. Over at Old Stove downtown, there's a lot of.
Haven't been there.
Yeah, it's not bad. They've got some really, really good stuff. Definitely get a flight.
Okay.
Wow, look at this. 4.5 and 5.5 is really neck and neck here.
Oh man, yeah, it's that knife fight we've heard about.
Oh, slowly take twos. Oh, a couple twos. Josh, you voted for one?
Mixing it up.
He's fomenting rebellion. All right, here we go. So that's going to be 5.5, right in the middle of the profile.
Okay. All right, let's talk about SRM.
Sir.
Sir.
You want to try something?
Is there something to drink?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take a sip.
Why were we at the door?
Right now, we want to intrude. We've got guests today.
Hey, I'm Bruce.
Hi, Bruce. Nice to meet you.
Like,
This is Bruce Cordell.
I can tell.
Did you know his name is Bruce?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, well, just in case you didn't know, his name is Bruce.
Cordell?
But
Cordell.
yeah.
His middle name is Art.
Thank you for saying that every time. You're right on top of that.
Well, listen, I know you have a brand to maintain. It's like if I see that a person consistently writes their name with that middle initial. Well, is your dad Bruce? Is that what's up?
There's actually another Bruce Cordell out there who...
A lesser Bruce?
I don't know if he's lesser, but there's been
Pseudo
people
Bruce?
come after me for debts that are not mine. So I'm like, I'm R. There's
I'm Bruce
another
R. Cordell.
Yes. Do some more searching for Bruce Cordell on the internet, and you'll find other prominent Bruce Cordells.
You'll find vagabonds, ne'er-do-wells, brigands,
Fiends.
NASA
laggards.
scientists.
Oh, or NASA scientists
Yeah.
also.
So we both have publications, but they're in different,
Absolutely. All right, man. So what are we thinking?
So on the color scale, right? We're looking between.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
No. We found a bitter one.
This is not a Mike beer. This is super bitter.
His face was like.
Wasn't what he's expecting.
No.
Another one of
No,
them?
he is not that dude.
Yeah.
He is not that dude, Bruce Carr Cordell. Let me tell you that much. Now,
So for a normal amber, we're looking anywhere between 10 and 17. Now we could.
well, I know what to do.
I just don't want to.
I'm going to reward you for having informed my youth
I have another
with
Twitch
such
stream
with
to
such
do later.
adeptness. Oh no!
This is
At
only-
5. At
No,
5.
I saw your schedule. No, you're trash, dude. Dude, you remember we did
Darcy, I may or may not make Grand Fire today.
we did Holly, remember?
Oh,
Just
yes.
so you know.
No, we had Holly
don't
was
know.
here, Holly Conrad, Strix.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And she was here for one, and it's not a good idea to have plans later in the day after acting.
Yeah.
This is what we've discovered. Now, so CERM.
So when we look at a traditional amber, it's going to be between 10 or 17. We could definitely go a little darker if we wanted to.
Yeah, if we want to.
Like if we wanted to go in the 21, maybe 22 range.
Yes. Yeah, because
I mean,
this
think
is
about-
a pale, right?
Yeah.
But it has a beautiful color.
Right.
Yeah.
Bruce, no!
That's the GM, Darcy.
Yeah, that's great.
Bruce, no, reel it in. Reel it in,
All
brother.
right.
Right here. So there's our CERM.
Or-
That'll
you
give
know.
you a few tasty choices. 10 is gonna obviously 10 is
God,
beautiful, but you don't want that. You don't want 10.
Everyone's
Um,
going for 22. I like it.
Well, exactly. But again, that is a lovely color. There are a lot of ambers that sit in that space.
Well, I mean, technically the Amber Council, I just realized this, is now voting for an amber.
Well, yeah, we should have known. We should have known, like, given it's exactly what it says on the tin. You know what I mean?
Don't get ahead of yourself.
No.
Oh, it's pouring! The song worked. God damn it, Toto worked!
Dude, it took me a lot to get me away from here.
You're here! Hey!
I want him to taste this
Yeah.
delicious beer that I've had too much of, so the work is not happening. Yeah, it's gonna be Steven Roberts.
No, I want. Okay, so I'm not. There you go. That's for you. Are you? How are the books looking, Beth?
I'm not doing it. I was like, I need to stop sending emails. These are not appropriate.
No, I need to stop sending invoices.
Ooh,
All right.
yeah.
Well, there you are. There you are. Enjoy.
It's yummy.
Now. Oh, yeah. Okay, so they want that rich color, and again, like
I think it's great.
amber,
I think it's a
absolutely.
really great
I mean,
color for the beer.
Yeah. Honestly, I think Alaskan amber is about in that range. It's a beautiful color. Very healthy.
Okay, so
Now, here's the best part, Bruce R. Cordell. So, the hot water has hit
right.
because, but smell it, because it hit the smoked grains on the top first.
right.
We are getting something amazing out of this carriage.
I love it.
Man.
I love it. I love it.
I'm excited.
Oh,
It's coming along.
The best part is that
vortex is
you
forming?
get to look down here. Oh
Yeah.
no! Well, right now it's still the caldera. Is that you get to take a look down here and just see the color.
Yeah, I saw it starting to
It
stream
will
down.
progressively change during each part of the
Yeah,
mash.
yes. Every mash is going to come back with a new temp,
Okay.
and then the color is going to be altered each
Wow.
phase.
Wow.
Oh man! But I'm telling you, like we're going to get you back into this hobby is what's going to happen.
Yes.
Because
No,
when I can take the whole step filter and dishwash the whole thing,
That's pretty awesome.
you're in. I mean, it's no problem.
It's no 5-gallon glass carboy from 1992.
No, getting one step.
Yeah.
Trust me, we've done that brewing too.
Still use those carboys. They never go out of style.
That's probably what this is from, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, what's really neat is, so we'll do secondary. Primary happens in the corny keg, but we'll still rotate it into a 5-gallon.
You pitch right into the corny.
Oh, okay.
And then once you pull that off the trub, then it's just resting there in the. It's just resting there inside the carboy. That is the most delicious.
Yeah, it's the best.
That's just the smoked two-row there on the top, but as a wort smell, ooh boy! All right, now so SRM is good, ABV is good.
Yep, and let's talk about the IBUs. How bitter do we want to make this beer?
Yeah. And so you
wow,
said,
that's really starting to smell now.
Isn't it great? So you said that the classics in terms of IBU for this, it's generally speaking lower, but we can move it, we can scooch it toward a pale if we want.
Right, you're looking at about 25 to 40 IBUs. As I always say, when you want to think about IBUs, when you generally think about your IPAs, those are around 50 to 55. Your double IPAs go above and beyond that. So when we look at a pale or an amber, 25 is going to be on the low end, where it's just really to balance out the malt.
Yeah.
When we hit the 40 mark, it's going to you're going to taste a lot more bitter.
And ambers, it's like we talk about toasty and stuff like that. Like ambers tend to have a very wholesome, bready. Like ambers, they're all food sources.
Yeah.
I mean, that's their origin is as a way to store calories.
Yeah.
But ambers still taste like that.
Yeah.
Ambers taste like a potable bread, generally speaking. And so where you place the hops in that setup is a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, and realistically, when we look at 25, that's going to make this beer malt forward.
Yes.
You're going to taste a lot more caramel.
Exactly. And so, friends, what that means for you is that when we're looking at the malt bill, that's a big deal because that is going to be the real focus of the flavor profile. We want to be very curatorial about the malt selection because that's going to be the thrust of this beer. This I cannot. Okay, listen. So I'm always talking about the malt, right? I'm always talking about like when the smell hits, right? That is pure magic. And look at this.
Yeah, it's
if
building
you look
up
in here. No, the smoked grains at the top because they're not cracked.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, with smoked grains, you can crack them or not because
Thanks, Money Cook Games.
the smell of the taste of the smoke is actually
It's the
resting
husk.
on the husk, not inside the grain.
Yeah.
So you don't need to get the sugar off.
But I'm saying, look what it's done. It's actually made this protective. Look, the water level is here at grain level, and it has made the caldera.
Yeah. Speaking of
as
which,
we've described. It's caldera forward.
As they say.
But the smell of the smoked grains on top of the sweet, it's a savory sweet thing. Can you get it back there, Josh? Not yet. It's coming.
It's coming.
Get ready.
Just wait.
Get those nostrils ready. And see, Laura is dishing up.
Wild, the grainal
vortex.
fissure is impending. No, it is not.
There's no such thing.
The vortex is impending.
Yeah, I see some happiness over there, Bruce R. Cordell, and it's disturbing to me. Like, remember, we're a united front.
right? No fissure here.
Completely
here.
vortex on this side of the table.
Fissure free.
Yes.
Yeah.
Never fissure. Hashtag. So that's very, very healthy. We're at 25.
25. Awesome. So let's talk about what's going to be our.
I was just going to say, I realize now you're talking about this magical process. You guys have leashed the wisdom of the crowds, right? You're creating this entire scenario, you're giving them all this information, and the wisdom of the crowds is kind of leading you through each one of these choices that you've laid out, which it's brilliant. I love it.
No, I mean, I'm
really
here to
neat.
tell you. So we do this every Tuesday. If you're ever tip tapping, you're ever lonely. I mean, back
Come in,
there.
have a beer.
Yeah.
Well, absolutely.
Swing in.
You wouldn't be the first, but I mean, back there in the office, obviously my creative partner Mike Krahulik, he's back drawing the strip.
Okay.
He loves to watch this. This is basically like a TLC or HGTV, like a food show, right? Food Network type thing. we're always here for you on Tuesdays. Here in the next couple, obviously we have to go to PAX next week, so we won't be able to do it then. But we're always hanging out. Please come in and contribute.
I would love to.
Your brewing wisdom. All right. So what else we got?
So let's talk about our base malts
Yes.
that we're going to use.
Which is key because we're at 25 IBU.
Right. So we want to either have the classic 2-row. This is... I love New Belgium.
Oh, yeah. New Belgium's always dropping
No,
hits.
it's like no Vortex, unfollow.
Well, no, exactly. But
There's so many...
No, it's because those firm grains, Daticus Rex, thank you.
Yeah.
So those firm grains have created a place of safety. It's basically a nest.
Yeah.
Like the water, basically the water from the fluid arm is going straight down into that. It's not going anywhere outside that. But you can see something like a proto vortex here at the edges, where you can see the flakes, the flakes moving around the edge.
So the classic is a 2-row. And for this, we'll use the Copeland 2-row by Skagit Valley.
Yeah, the Washington,
The
which
Washington
we're hooked
2-row.
on now.
I am so hooked
thanks,
on this because
Stacey
it's
Kujan.
super sweet, but still very dry and crisp.
Oh, yeah. So this is why I was talking about Washington State grains before. It's like we started using the Copeland, the Skagit Valley grains, and it's the same, obviously it's the same plant. It's like the same cultivar or whatever.
Okay.
But the one from here is just superior. It's just better. Something about Washington makes the same grain a better product. Awesome.
And
so 2-row from Skagit.
2-row, and the next one we're going to use is Maris Otter. This is
Both
a
good.
classic. It's a UK based malt. It's going to give us a little more biscuity and toasty flavor. It's going to really bring out the malt characteristics in the beer.
Yeah, Maris Otter sees a lot of use here on AC Int.
New Belgium, yes, we will eventually sometime do a PAX AC Intoxicated panel.
Why not?
Yeah.
Our fantasy would be to work with a vendor.
Yeah.
Do a recipe, come up with something together, and then have that available at the garden.
That would be
just one
amazing.
block off site.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Whoa,
Whoa, what is this?
dude! This is some kind of.
This is something new. What is this witchcraft?
It's separating right from the beginning, and then it's like these are the two. It's like this is the skein of reality.
Yeah.
Right. It's like it's going. It's like there's
very Planescape.
There's two potentials here. It's powerful. It's very powerful.
It's a quantum stage where we can go one way or the other, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
It's Schrodinger's grains.
Human observation, yeah.
You really made it. You went Schrodinger on this one. Hey,
yeah.
listen.
Oh, I
Full
love that.
Schrodinger.
Thank you.
Yeah. So there's definitely
Grainscape? Yes.
Grainscape. That's it.
Yes, Buck Rogers.
That's it. Andy M is talking about the vortical horizon, but you can tell that. I mean, this color is just going to keep going this. But here's the fun part. It's going to get a little bit darker because of the flaked rye. But here's the takeaway for the channel. So check out this color down here, which is already looking delicious. Keep in mind that ultimately this is a mead as well.
Yeah, because we're going to be adding about
Very
3 pounds of honey to this. This is going to be ridiculous.
Very, very compatible. So this is going to end out at 12%. It's gonna have the smoky flavor with this mead.
That's what's fascinating because it's going to be smoke balanced out by honey.
Sweet.
And some hop.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. Like, there's a lot going on, but I don't see any reason to believe why, especially after the mead edition and the high ABV, that we're not talking about something that doesn't have a kind of balance in it.
Yeah.
Right? Anyway, please continue. It looks like Maris Otter.
Whoa, hey.
I mean, it makes sense, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
If that's going to be the big focus, you're going to want that rich cookie taste. Yeah.
All right. So the next grain we can look at is going to be, let's do,
What's next?
your classic crystal malt. We'll do a crystal 6. Let's do a crystal 60.
Mm-hmm. So Crystal 60, we're talking about a like caramel flavor and rich color.
This is
right?
this is gonna be add a lot of the caramel malty flavor we want. Or actually, we could throw in. So, do we want to add more caramel flavor to this,
Right.
or do we want to add a Vienna malt, which is another base malt, but this is going to elevate the ABV, but also give us. It's not going to. I don't want to. How do I say this? It's not going to play around with the caramel flavor too much.
No.
It's going to add to the Maris Otter.
Mm-hmm.
And what that's going to allow us to do is play around with more specialized malts later in the grain.
Exactly. It's basically going to leave the palate open for something a little bit off kilter. Right?
Exactly.
So the next one is probably we should be choosing an off kilter malt or say, hey, we got it, right?
Mm-hmm. Because we're really not. We were going for a 22 on the SRM, so we don't have to really dive deep into our colored grains that are going to change the scale too much.
It's interesting. So they want that Vienna. So basically what they're saying with
very
that.
cool. Okay.
But so this is the divination aspect, right? It's just like we get to take a look at it and say, okay, well this is just backing up their previous choice. What they want is for biscuit to be the main protrusion of this device. Oh, look at this. Now it's just resting. You see this? It's like when you see a rain cloud from a great distance.
Yeah.
There's portents here.
Thunderheads.
Mm-hmm. But they've been yoked for our purpose.
Ha.
Right?
Wow, Vienna got it. Okay. Geez, I think Vienna by a mile.
Yeah, Vienna's a winner. And so to my mind, that means that they like that one. So the next choice should be like, hey, are we good?
Well, also, no, let's take it in a different direction. We're going to either choose Victory malt or Biscuit malt. Victory's going to give us a toffee flavor, and I'm pretty sure you can figure out what Biscuit malt is going to taste like.
I've never even heard of Biscuit malt. I know about malts that do it. Oh, are you? Oh, right here, listen.
Yeah.
I have what you need. Come close.
How close?
This close. Enjoy.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Now, so Victory's got the toffee, and Biscuit's got the biscuit. Oh man, those are both good.
Biscuit, goddamn.
But those are both
Yeah.
good. Like either one of those would be a winner in that context. I think.
Well, and think about it. If we are going to add cherries to this, how does each flavor play off the cherry, right?
Yeah. I mean, basically, we're talking about because the cherry, compared to the rest of this, is going to be very sharp.
Kind of a chemical taste almost.
Yeah. On top of that, and that'll be the key, is trying to extract a cherry taste without it getting into that cough syrup thing. Because it's very, very easy. Once you have cherry and alcohol, the note of NyQuil,
Yes.
it's very, very hard to get away from.
Right.
I mean, I love cherry, but yeah, I totally get what you're saying.
It's a sense memory.
Yeah.
Like at one point you had some Robitussin, and that's all you get. So there's a really, really great beer over at Maritime called Jolly Roger that you might have seen around Christmas time. It's a super, super good Christmas ale, and we went there for basically like we didn't go for the tasting itself, but they still had a bunch of stuff left over from a tasting the previous night, and we had like 6 different kinds of Jolly Roger, and they were almost all undrinkable.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Wow.
it was just
Too much.
too much.
It was just too much, and every one of them is like, okay, let's try this spruce. Okay, one sip is plenty for that, but now I have a whole glass. And then it's like, okay, let's try this cherry one. Oh no, that's Robitussin D. Let's pull off of that one a little bit. Jesus, that's way closer than I expected. I'm going to give that another...
New Belgian, I agree. I think you need a Vortex shirt to wear at the brewery.
Yeah, I guess that's true. We should probably consider, at long last, we should probably consider an Akin, product.
This
could
is,
be good.
Episode 28.
Yeah, Jesus.
I guess.
It's wild.
I guess.
It's freaking wild to think about.
All right. Victory. Man. What the...
The
okay,
Vortex and Granule Fissures to see what sells the most.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, you beasts.
Whoa. Are you kidding me? A 50-50 split on this?
I was about to hit it, and I got to leave it alone now. I just got to see where this next one goes. So,
a Deep Crow Stout. I like that. That's a great idea for... I like
yes,
Deep
Deep
Crows.
Crow Stout would be amazing.
Look at this. It is literally back and...
We could get real beaks.
all beaks all day.
Biscuit.
You close it? In with the biscuit, huh?
Biscuit came out. Man, that was a knife fight there. All right, so Biscuit. That is that a good bill?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because their sweetness
at
of the toffee
3
might over Robitussin it, like you were saying, and the biscuit might help
That's the challenge.
savory it out. Right?
So like I say, when it comes to these cherries, because ultimately I think we're going to be the ones making it. We get, we'll be looking for the type of cherry that's right. One way we could get out of that would be to have the sweetness of the malt account for the taste of pie cherries, because pie cherries tend to not have a classic sherry profile, but they have the tartness. Because in that context, you're adding extra sugar and baking it, right? So that might be one way to get around it. And then using pie cherries as something like a hop addition might be really interesting.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, A+, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're looking good.
Now, we were going for 5.5 on the SRM?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, no, on ABV?
Yeah, ABV,
Yes.
yeah.
Correct.
22 on the SRM. So I'm going to add a little bit of crystal just to bring it up to that level.
Yeah.
But we're going to add 120 crystal, so we don't need a ton
Oh,
of it.
yeah. When we say crystal 120, we're talking about crystal that is at 120 SRM.
Actually, you know what?
So think about how little we'd have to add to get us up to 22.
Hold on.
What do you think?
Let's change that up a little bit.
What? You madman. You go crazy.
I am going to give the choice of either adding... God, this is nuts. Anyways, I'm going to give the choice of either adding Crystal 120 or a roasted barley. One is obviously going to give us the more caramel flavor. The other is going to give us a roasty flavor in this beer. So if you think roasted biscuit cherry or caramel biscuit cherry.
So roasted barley. That's going to give us a little bit of... What would you say? What was the adjective on that?
Ooh, or do we want to go with chocolate?
Well,
Chocolate, roast, or caramel? What do you want?
We will put chocolate in, and they'll decide. Like, there's no reason for us to do it.
So let's say a chocolate, a roast.
So chocolate malt?
Yep. What do you want? What do you want for the flavor addition here? Chocolate, roast, or caramel? And that's going to determine if we put chocolate, crystal, or a caramel grain into this bill.
Caramel? No, that's not it. And then what was the barley?
Roasted barley.
It's just the roast flavor, right?
So do you want a caramel biscuit, a roasted biscuit, or a chocolate biscuit?
Yeah, and really, these are just going in
This is going to be
to
more
bring us
more
to,
color.
Yeah, it's mostly
with a
for
little bit
color.
of flavor.
Exactly.
Because their SRM is so high that we just add a little pinch of it too.
No, boop, right on top. And so, get a load of this, Bruce Harcourt Ale. So now that it's filled up,
Never gonna.
so now that it basically filled up, did the first part of the mash. Now it is draining it out and putting it out in the kettle
Gotcha.
for a boil, and so it basically will just circulate that. So all that we would have done with a paddle, it basically, this pump is just making sure that the wort is staying hot and staying mixed.
Gotcha. Wow.
It's pretty neat. And so then once it does that, and then it is getting this back up to the right temp, then it'll come back in. It'll pump that wort back through the grains, for stage 2 at a higher temp.
Gotcha. Wow, that's pretty amazing.
It is
Technology.
It is very, very handy. I mean, now there's many devices that do this, and in fact, they just crowdfunded the sequel to this particular device. But this one obviously is not what I would call beautiful.
Is that crowdfunding campaign over?
Well, the crowdfunding part of the campaign is over.
Darn.
But just look up. But I'm sure they'll still let you buy one. It's called. This is the Pico Brew Zymatic, and the new one is just called the Z.
Okay.
And basically, it basically is this device, but it has more robust industrial design and a few learnings from the previous product.
This is fascinating. I did not expect roasted to be on the top of this this chart.
Oh man!
I thought chocolate cherry would have been the instant winner.
Yeah, but they want the baked good, right?
Yeah,
they want the
You
pie.
said the cherry pie, yeah.
Yeah.
Got him thinking.
They
roasted.
want the pie,
Yeah.
right? And so here we go. Roasted barley, it is. Now, not a whole lot left to do on this.
So we had to put 1/4 pound in. Josh, can you bring up the Beersmith recipe? So right now, without adding any roasted barley, you can see the color. We're at about 7 on the SRM scale.
Yeah, it looks it.
If we add 1/4 pound, you can see the pint glass up on the side, and it brings us right to about 23, which is what we're going
Jeez.
for. If you add another 1/4 pound, so you're at a half, you're at 36. That's how much.
That's how dark.
How dark just a little bit
Amazing.
of that roasted barley can be.
Yeah, but also, so this is another piece of interesting trivia on that. So even our dark grains weren't anywhere near this because we were very, very gentle with the applewood,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
All right, what's next?
This is the hops.
Hopville?
Hopville, USA. So, let's talk about what we want for hops.
And feel absolutely comfortable, Bruce R. Cordell, to throw in whatever you like here.
Yeah.
We were talking about the adventures before and how there's things you have to put in. For me, it's Formians.
Okay.
Like I have to have them in there.
Formians. Oh, wow. That is a classic addition.
It goes way, way back. Like a big part of the campaign that we run is because we have a couple new players.
Sure.
And it's just like we want to make sure that they get
the classic experience.
the formative experiences. Like
Gotcha.
we go in and we do other things. Like they met at an inn. Like I feel very strong that this is very important. But they met at an inn, but it turned out to be a meta inn that can be
It was the best. It was
can
so
be
great.
interpreted in multiple different ways as a kind of test, right? So it's like we want to give them just the classic stuff that we know about.
Well, sure. If they're completely new, it's totally new to them, right? They don't see it
Absolutely.
viewed as a cliche in any sense.
No, exactly.
They never knew a door could become a mimic.
Exactly. So they didn't know about this, right? But also, it's like all this stuff, like there's goblin raids and all this. Like we want to give them all those great. We want to build on them later, but we want to give them the great memories to start with. So if you have a hop fantasy, by all means,
A hop
enunciate
fantasy.
it.
Sure.
Here in this amber.
You know, I'm just excited that we're adding hops, finishing hops. We're not at finishing hops though yet, right?
Not just yet.
Not just yet.
We're bittering right now.
All right. I don't know enough about hops other to know than you add them a
smell
couple
great.
different times. In the middle and at the end.
Well, here we won't push you.
But
We won't push you
If
then.
unless there's Formian, hops, then
Yeah, some kind of a creature we can put in the
Yeah.
oil.
Oh, interesting.
So what are you thinking?
So, okay, let's talk about the first bittering hops that we can put in. One is the Nougat. This is This is a classic hops. This is going to be very herbal and spicy.
Ooh, that could be good.
Now here is another one. This is going to be fun to play around with the cherry. This is Brewers Gold, which is going to be fruity, spicy, and you're going to get a lot of black currant off the nose of this.
I love this program.
Right.
This
A
is like,
Beersmith?
well, it's like, Arthur C. Clarke's, 10 technology. It's like magic, right? This is like from like 1991. Like, what are you doing here? What crazy magic are you pulling up from the internet? You're just pulling up all hops everywhere? Is that what's going on
basically,
here?
We're directly communicating with the Mystic Ultra Hop at the center of the universe.
I love it.
This was actually a PhD student's thesis. This is what he did for his project.
Good job, PhD student.
But as you saw, we can go in and make minute adjustments to any of the ingredients, and it'll give us live ABV and SRM info, right?
Yeah, the fact that it's actually calculating or extrapolating the color here is
right?
It's wild, right?
It's good times. Right, so what else are we looking at here?
Well, let's talk about, so once this is done.
So Brewers Gold is kicking
I think
ass.
it's running away with it.
Well, they want that fruit note. They want that fruit aspect in there. They want it to be represented in the hopping, right? Oh yeah, Purple Monkey Robots, you can be certain that Brewers Gold is on the dank, can be assessed with a dankometer. Just to verify the truth. So Brewers Gold is our bittering hop.
Okay.
Mon Frere.
So what do we think Welver is as a flavor? So we're going to talk about flavoring hops and aroma hops
Exactly. So in our construct, where does this beverage intersect? Is this what he gets? The idea was that he got it. He basically said, "Hell, you're taking a cart out here. I'll cut you a deal if you bring this back." Right. So it's basically his favorite thing. He's willing to lose a little bit of money if it means they're going to bring this back. Right.
So what does that look like? What flavors from around the realms would Welver have gotten?
Right.
Whereabouts in the realms is Red Larch located?
So Red Larch is
south of Waterdeep, or no?
No, it's north of Waterdeep.
To the right.
Along the west coast.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
on the long road.
South of the Sword
Okay.
Mountains.
All right.
It's
So the Silver March.
It's east of.
Silver Marches
trying to remember
are
the
kind
silver-
of north. Or
Yeah,
it's a little,
Silver Marches
east
are-
and
Yep.
north.
Right.
It's been a few years since.
Oh, totally. But we're past those mountains there. We're sort of southeast of Neverwinter. Mm-hmm. It's that big long road that goes all the way from the top to the bottom. It's right smack dab in the middle. So
there's a
it
lot
could
of-
be any old place.
There's a lot of orcs that live in those mountains too, right? Where's
Is that what it is?
Right.
Does he want some kind of orc? Is there some kind of like orcish ale?
Welver is looking for a little exoticism.
Exactly.
Is what I'm thinking.
He wants something. He wants something a little crazy, and he doesn't want to go get it. But if you're going there, he would like you to bring it back.
Didn't you say he had some sort of midnight
He
liqueur or
has
something?
some. Yeah.
So-
So that may also be some orcish bottle as well.
got his taste early.
So let's think about something that is a little bit crazy.
So we've never used this as a hop before, but opal.
Yeah.
Opal is going to be spicy, but small hints of citrus inside of it.
Hey, do you have Laurel on there?
Yeah.
Throw it. Throw it in.
Is it
Just
L-A-U?
L-U?
L-O?
L-O-R.
L-O?
They don't have it in there.
What? Come on, that can't be right.
Interesting. Do they spell it L-A-U? No.
What?
Fair enough. We're gonna get the update. There is a really, really amazing.
Yeah.
So
Laurel is fantastic.
The reviews on it weren't great, and so I hesitated for a moment before I grabbed it. But Stone has a new Exalted Ale that uses Citra and Laurel. I'd never even heard of Laurel before, but it really called to mind some of the Northeast, East Coast IPA styles, which, unlike the ones that we do over here, don't focus so much on like the tart citrus type oils. It focuses much more on floral, which you would think would be a bad taste in a drink, but it's just the hint of it. And it's actually a really, really special flavor. But it might not work 100% in here anyway.
I actually like the thought of what would an orc hop be? What
Yeah, exactly.
I
What would
like
they
that.
price? What would they price?
What would the flavoring of an orc hop be? Would it be spicy? Would it be
Yeah, exactly.
citrusy, piney? Would it be piney?
I think it would be smoky, because I know you already have a smoke in there.
Well, it works for us.
But you know, it's what do orcs prize, right? It's cooking over the campfire. It's charcoaling stuff. It's burning crap down.
yeah.
It's smoke probably for orcs is kind of like this.
Would you say it's
smell.
like earthy?
Yeah, earthy.
Yes.
Earthy works.
The
Oh yeah, they're
earthy-
always in the tunnels, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great.
The earthy,
also works great.
basically what we're talking about is like that bass note,
Okay.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Then I'm going to throw in Vic's Secret.
I have never even heard of Vic's Secret.
It's an Australian hop. It is earthy, spicy, or earthy, fruity, and piney.
Ooh.
Wow, hitting all
Yeah.
of them.
So resinous,
Yeah.
right?
But I like that concept of, Welver going out and sending something to the, getting something from the orcs.
See, Disco King is
Yeah.
saying Warrior is an orc hop, and I agree.
Whoa,
Warrior
yeah.
is a monster hop. Oh, the old name for Laurel hops is HBC 291. Can you see the
Oh,
pulls up?
right. Yep, there we go. Oh, yeah, there we go. It's an experimental.
Oh.
That's interesting. Awesome. Did not know that.
Oh, see, but they don't even talk about the flavor.
Yeah,
Experimental.
Anyway, so what is it now?
291.
291. So, like I say, in that Exalted Ale, that floral flavor in there is amazing. Like, imagine if you could, like, drink perfume, but like you wanted to, and it was good.
And it was good perfume.
It doesn't make any sense. Like, there's something about the flavor profile of it that clearly enunciates flowers, but in a way that is delicious and juicy. Like, it's nuts. It's so nuts that I suspect it's a pretty challenging.
It's like Vic's Secret is running away.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh man, this run out of battery, Josh.
No.
It run out of battery. Would there be a way to get the?
What, Josh? You're
Okay,
a wizard.
I want to make sure that everybody
You're a
understands.
fucking wizard, Josh.
I want to make sure that everybody understands what just happened. So this device ran out of battery. I said, "Hey, Josh, is there a way for us to do something that would be useful for me but inconvenient for you?" And then Josh had already done it an hour. This is like Ozymandias type shit.
That's pretty amazing.
That's Vic's Secret. They want that pine.
Okay.
They want that resin.
So we have one last addition. That would be our flavor. So now let's do our aroma. Now we can either say, no, we want to keep the Vic's Secret as our aroma as well, which is going to be what we get off the top of the glass, off the nose.
Yes.
I'm going to throw in the Amarillo, or the El Dorado
Well,
as the aroma.
you're not going to fight. Yeah, listen, I'm not going to fight you on this. So El Dorado, primarily characterized by stone fruit flavors, I would say.
Yep. Or the Laurel, then. Now that we know what to classify it as. These are all things Welver could have gotten from around the realms.
Yeah, exactly. So Vic's Secret, El Dorado.
Yep, El Dorado or the
Laurel.
Yep.
So juicy floral is the
Best way to
is the
describe
best way
that.
to describe it. Yeah, we had a bunch of this when we were going wild on those grains with the smoker. We had an ample supply of Exalted. It works great, Josh. It works great. Yeah, and I'll be curious. I'll be curious to see how people end up in there. The floral might be very interesting, along with the resinous pine. The stone fruit.
'Cause we're only gonna add a little
Would
bit.
just bolster the mid range on that, and then Vic's Secret. Obviously, you're just going to double up there on the back end. They're all good. They're all good. Have you had anything with El Dorado?
I haven't.
There is. I think it's Aslan Brewing. It's. I don't know if it's local or if I've just started finding it in local places. But it has a lion head on it. No big surprise there.
Yeah, it's kind of...
Batch 15 is made with El Dorado.
Wow. Okay.
And it is very, very interesting. So it's basically like, we've talked about this a lot on the show, where there's a lot of poetry that goes into like describing hops and some of these flavor profiles, and it's like it's there and you know what they mean, but it's like this is like actually juicy. Like
Okay.
Insofar as it tastes like juice, which is odd, right?
Sounds good. I need to make it up a little farther north more often. There's a place here in Redmond I used to go. A friend of mine every so often, craft brew place. Oh, his name is escaping me. Did they just have all these little tables and all these freezers full of all beers?
Was it Malton Vine?
Yeah, Malton Vine. That was
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's right by Stone.
Yeah.
Which is an amazing restaurant. So if you ever roll back through here,
Okay.
go to Malton Vine, grab your stuff, put it in your car, and then just go to Stone Korean right next door.
Okay. Cool.
Oh man, El Dorado and Laurel are
Whoa,
going crazy.
interesting.
All right, here we go. I'm just gonna not look.
Wait, give it I mean,
El Dorado. Well, that's fine with me.
Okay.
You know how I feel about it. So that's basically your aroma hop.
This is going to be aroma. This is going to be right at 5 minutes. Actually, you
love
know
it.
what? We're going to put it at flame out.
Yeah, just right at the end. Oh man, that's gonna be so good off the top. Now
What were we going for IBUs? 24, 25?
for IBU,
I think it was 25.
22.
Yep, 25 then. Cool.
Yeah, it was 25, 32, and then 40. So now we need a yeast experience.
Premium yeast experience. All right. So
I only like the premium versions of those.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't settle on yeast. By God. All right. Now, what do we think?
so the first one we're going to do is the American Ale 2.
So
So
a
we-
little more fruit?
It's going to add a little more of the fruit characteristics that we're going to put in with those cherries.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how do we get a little crazy with this?
I would go to PAX Yeast.
PAX yeast?
Ledger Domain.
I'm going to put it in there. I'll make sure it gets representation in here. Yeast. All right.
Interesting.
So you found something nefarious, it sounds like?
Yeah, I don't know how it would work.
Right now, in your minds, be thinking about the name for this one as well.
Yeah.
If something Welver wants from far away, that's the key.
Actually, let's try the French Saison yeast.
Tell me about that.
So this is going to be able. What the description says, it can either produce a Saison or a farmhouse style ale.
Okay, so it'll function.
But it's going to be peppery, citrusy, and spicy are the main flavors we're going to get out of
Yeah,
this.
but on the yeast side,
Yeah.
that's pretty bold.
Pretty wild,
and,
right?
And I would say that, well, I mean, in that context, I would say that places it more in the orcish continuum.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's
bold.
well, as a
it's
saison, any of those
brash.
farmhouse, it's going to be in that Belgian continuum, which tends to be about spontaneous fermentation,
Mm-hmm.
and you know what I mean, like leaving casks open, letting the place itself
Yeah.
ferment them. Like, sounds pretty
Wild yeast
orcish
come
to
in.
me.
Yeah.
You're right. Sounds pretty right. But they're both. I mean, these are both winners.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is that occasionally we'll come up with a build that's so righteous that we feel compelled to make it with two different yeasts.
Oh, okay.
Just because it changes so much. It changes so much about the experience.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, when you look at this vote, it's going fucking PAX yeast. Jesus. If we go with the American Ale, it's really going to emphasize the cherry and all the fruit flavors we put into this beer.
Right.
Whereas the Saison is going to, like we said,
It's
make
gonna
it more
make
spicy.
some substantial alterations to the profile.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's gonna get in there hard. Oh, you know what? American Ale 2 is running away with it now. And I think that it's because they understand that it is bonkers.
Yeah.
Like the Saison, going the Saison route is nuts.
But still fun. I mean, it's very orcish.
You know, it's kind of orcish in a way I almost don't like, though, that the wild yeast that gives you that peppery flavor sometimes. For me, sometimes it's not my favorite.
It's more challenging.
Yeah.
It's like, I think that this is basically a vote to be like, okay, well, we actually want to drink it.
Yeah. Do you want a
Cool
CR?
idea,
Do you want a
guys.
CR5 or a CR18?
Exactly. It's like cool ideas, but but
Yeah.
American Ale 2 it is.
Cool. So what do we want to name this thing?
Yeah, now it's time for the name.
Welliver's Orcish Holiday.
Yeah.
Right?
Or something that evokes that.
Yeah.
All right, so you get ready for this because they come in there and go hard.
Well oiled. That's great. The cart before horse. Jesus. Orcarot. Okay.
Welliver's Wayfarer.
Oh yeah.
Wayfarer is very good.
Yeah. Social lubricant.
Orcish lubricant.
Orcish lubricant. That's good.
Cart before horse. Wake you up.
Welliver's Tax.
Oh yeah. Plainer biscuit. Welver's toe jam.
No.
Oh. Wretched.
Welver's
Welver's love juice.
yuck.
Oh,
Gross.
Welver's orcish nights.
Welliver's not.
Yeah, road trip is good.
Road Ship.
Road trip is a great name.
Yeah.
Welver and good.
What about rogue trip? Hey-oh.
Yeah, that's good.
The orcs are glistening.
Back to the lubricant.
Yeah.
Welver and good. Ale and back again. Wagon rocker. I
Night
get
of
it.
Regret. Wow, they really are.
Oh,
too
wish.
many to-
Right?
Wargle.
Warghole.
I don't know why.
Flagons of wagons? Yes.
Well, here, let's do
Welver, take the wheel. Sure.
we'll do wagon flagon. Let me grab a couple more here.
Oh, that's a good one. Wagon flagon.
Axle oil is very
Yeah,
good.
axle oil is cool.
Nice.
I'll grab one more here. Wagon wax. Ooh, wagon wax is good. All right. Now, let's jump in there.
Off the wagon.
Okay, all right. Okay,
That's
one
kind of
more.
good. Off the wagon is
One
good.
more.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
The greasy goblin. Okay.
All right. Take a look at that, friends. See what you like.
Damn, we got a list.
Hey, Josh. Is the template for the vote, is that different because of I'm using it on the iPad?
Yeah, you scroll down and select whatever you want.
Oh, it's very.
Oh, yeah, it's more-
this is very tasteful.
I was going to say, it's a little more floral. I like it. Off the wagon is already running away with it.
Oh no, off the wagon is A plus. It's A plus. All
I
right.
don't know. What was it? Axle oil? That was really good. Wagon flagon.
No, there's so many great ones, but off the wagon is just too good. Like you're gonna have a hard time competing against that, right?
Given the backstory that everyone here knows, right?
Yeah.
And that it has
It's
its own
unavoidable.
it has a meaning even outside of that meaning. And then,
Yeah,
of course,
definitely.
Yeah, it's hard to beat.
It's unavoidable. Yep. Yeah. It won. That's what's happening. Now,
That's where you're going? Okay.
so like I say, so Bruce R. Cordell, you can see that it has hit right now 152.
Right.
So it's holding temp because it's not even interacting with the mash right now. It's just stirring,
Okay.
right? So it's just grabbing it from the straw, pumping it through, getting it all good and mixed for the next jump in terms of temp to come and hit these grains again.
Wow.
And then just continue increasing the efficiency of the mash.
Gotcha. Wow.
Super, super cool. Precious Channel, what a treat it has been to spend the first part of the afternoon with you. I'm so glad you had a chance to come. I'm also super pleased to have had an opportunity to meet Bruce R. Cordell.
So nice to meet you, Jerry.
Oh, man, I can't even believe
Eric,
it. I can't even believe
First
it.
time in person, so.
No, I read these things when I was a baby. They definitely improved my life, definitely guided the course of it. Thank you so much for what you do.